So from all the time, the French government chooses now to acknowledge the violence committed by the French military against the Cameroonian who were fighting against colonialism, colonialism being committed by the French people in Cameroon. So at that time, it was during independence struggle in the 1960s when Cameroonian fought against colonialism. Then the French militaries have committed this violence against these Cameroonians. Now, it was written later by President Emmanuel Macron, and it came out public now as we speak. The question is, why did the French government choose this time? Now, let me just go ahead and share that article with you. I'm going to read it through. Look, the headline goes, French President Emmanuel Macron has acknowledged the violence committed by French troops as Cameroon fought for its independence. It comes as African leaders reassess France's ongoing process, presence in the continent. They have been expelled from the Sahel states. Now what they are trying to do is they are trying to send that signal of France being clean, and for them, for the Cameroonians to look at now France as a different government, or I don't know what they're trying to do, because what they have committed will remain stuck with the Cameroonian people and the rest of Africa that France has been colonizing and still continue in this neo-colonization or neo-colonialism time. Now let's go ahead and see the rest of it. Look, French President Emmanuel Macron admitted his country used repressive violence, that's what they call it, repressive violence in Cameroon during the 1950s as a West African nation fought for its independence. In a letter sent to Cameroonian counterpart Paul Biya last month, Macron acknowledged the actions of French colonial troops. The letter was made public by Macron's office on Tuesday and comes at a time when France's current presence in its former African colonies has become increasingly contested, detested as well. This comes following an official report commissioned by France in 2022, which found that France used mass force displacement, pushed scores of Cameroonians into internment camps, and supported militias known for their brutality, all with the purpose of battling the country's aspiration for independence. Now, French violence continued, of course, after independence. The report compiled a 14-person committee made of French and Cameroonian historians who looked at France's role in Cameroon between 1945 and 1971, noting that the French army's repressive measures continued after the country's independence in 1960. The historians of the commission made it very clear that there was a war in Cameroon during which the colonial authorities and the French army carried out repressive violence of several kinds that continued after 1960. It's incumbent on me today to accept France's role and responsibility in these events. That was in quote by President Macron. Now, the French president also acknowledged France's role in the days of Cameroonian leader, look at them, Ruben Niobe, Paul Momo, Isaac Niobe Panjok, and Jeremy Ndelene, all of whom were killed between 1958 and 1960 in French command military operations. It's just sad. It's like, it sounds like CIA after some time. They just, oh, by the way, we took part in this one. We took part in this one. We are the one who committed this. It just sounds like that. Now, France's colonial legacy under scrutiny. Most parts of Cameroon came under French rule in World War I after the country's previous colonial ruler, Germany, suffered a defeat in the war. The rest of the country was colonized by Britain. Cameroon started pushing for independence during World War II, with France reacting with repression and violence, the report said. So the report is part of Macron's push for France to come to terms with its own colonial history, even though many argue his moves do not go far enough. I agree. Now, a report released in 2021 found that France bore in quote open overwhelming responsibilities in the Rwandan genocide that took place in 1994, while a 2020 report looked into France's role also during Algeria's war of independence, ending up calling of a truth commission and other measures. So Macron ruled out officially apologizing for the abuses carried out by the French soldiers in Algeria. So this is just a tip of an iceberg. This is telling us Algeria and then also in Rwanda, the genocide, and now in Cameroon. I mean, there are in every country that they have been colonizing, France has definitely been committing a genocide and those repressive let me just take that back, a genocide in Rwanda and the repressive forces against those who fought against colonialism in their colonies, like that, be it Cameroon or the Sahel states, anyone, any African countries that has been under French government colonization. Well, now, for me, the question is that why now? Because they have seen or witnessed their presence in Africa is being contested, and people really want to drive out the French military and to cut ties with French government. They just don't want to have anything to do, not even trade, because they know how French government is really misusing all the relations that it has with African countries. And so they're being really, people detest them right now, and they want their leaders really to cut ties with France, and that will be the end of France. As the former president or the ex-president of or is it a late president by now, Jacques Chirac? I don't know. Anyway, but Jacques Chirac say that if France stops, colonizing or this new colonization of African countries, then France will go to the third world countries. So they know that their resources are coming from Africa, so they don't want to cut that tie. And so what Macron is doing, that he's sending this signal of France is coming clean. And also another important thing I almost forgot, Paul Biya's now departure is inevitable. He's 90 years old or 92 years old, and he still want to run for presidency in the next election, which is I think October, which is insane. He should not be allowed if he makes it, because anyway, he's out of the country, sick, can barely carry his own body, let alone to lead the country. So his departure is inevitable. So they want to send this signal, France is clean. On the other hand, they are preparing their puppet again for Cameroon. So watch out, this is for my brothers and sisters in Cameroon. Watch out who you want to bring as a leader. And, that will lead Cameroon, that will bring peace, first of all, for the ongoing conflict between these really very embarrassing conflict between Anglophone and Francophone in Cameroon. A leader that can really carry Cameroon with all its problems, and who can transform the economy as well. That's one. Secondly, France is just trying and thinking, they have lost already the Sahel meaning Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. So they are, as we speak, they have military in Djibouti, that is the biggest, in 1,500 army, I think, yeah. Also, the French military presence includes Chad. They said they have left all. There is Gabon, there is Senegal. They are also Senegal. They are leaving phase by phase. And France has also a military base in Ivory Coast as well. So, but trade ties with all those colonies and other African countries as well. Cameroon, you need to watch out and see who is the next leader, appointed by who. You really have to. I don't think France is going to leave Cameroon alone. That's just a simple fact, right? Thank you very much for tuning in. Let us know in the comment section what do you think of this letter or this acknowledgement of. It doesn't even apologize, right? Did you notice the letter? It's just acknowledging. It's not it's an acknowledgement. It's not an apology. Not that apology will do something, but at least it's the first step to continue to the other phase. Let us know in the comment section what do you think of this move by Emmanuel Macron. Until the next one, it's a bye-bye from me. Ciao.